Is your anxiety stopping you from running your first ever game of Dungeons and Dragons? Or maybe you're like me and you've ran and played for years now, and yet it still manages to find a way to creep in and take that whole process from prepping to the table, which should be really fun and free and creative, and turn it into just a pile of dread. Honestly, even within the first 5-10 minutes of sitting down at a game, online or in person, I still feel it. It makes me sick to my stomach. And that sucks, because this is one of my favourite things to do. And if you feel the same way, which I hope somebody does, and it's not just me, then One Shot Wonders by Roll and Play Press might be the book for you. Now, this was published last year, and the whole idea behind it is to take everything that you would need to run a game, the plot points, the characters, the secrets, the stories, the stat blocks, and puts it into 1 or 2 pages, already prepped and prepared. Quick look. 2 pages. 2 pages for a full one shot. And that really is it. And I cannot tell you how much pressure this took off my game. I'm really lucky. I am in a great group. We play D&D once a week, but our issue is that we have lots of DMs. We have lots of people wanting to play. Right now we're in a campaign, sort of main campaign, with another fantastic DM. So when the rest of us want to slide in, it's much harder to schedule games, and they kind of have to be on the fly. A lot of the times everyone's sitting there and oh dear, suddenly everyone's free. Who's going to run? And I don't put my hand up more often than not, because I panic. I couldn't possibly run without all this prep. I have to think of every single scenario and situation and make sure that I'm not caught off guard and that my friends don't have a horrible time and they all don't hate me and never want to play D&D ever again, which of course isn't the case. But with this book, I made a promise to myself that I was just going to pick it up and run. And it was awesome. It really was. Being able to just not even flick through it, being able to just look down, knowing that everything I needed was there, meant that I could just play the game. And of course what happens, which I'm sure will happen to you, you will relax. And you won't spend so much time over prepping and nailing everything down to the point where you have to fall back on that in game. And you can free yourself up and you can go back and forth with your players and you can and you can follow the inspiration wherever it takes you. I read through this once, sat it down in front of me and ran the game for my players. I'll be honest with you, we didn't even get to what mostly was in this, the contents of the one shot. I sort of riffed off. It was a coastal adventure. We'd already played in kind of piratey settings before, and it turned into shenanigans, as a lot of one shots do. But it was awesome. And now, the next time we go to pick this up, because a one shot of mine often turns into a 3 shot, absolutely nothing for me to do, nothing to prep. I don't have to worry, we just have to pick off where we left off. And that's all down to One Shot Wonders. So no, this isn't going to completely remove any of that stage fright that you might feel when you're playing. And if you're like me, you might always still just get a little bit anxious. However, if prepping is your problem and you find yourself bogged down in the nitty gritty, so much so that you can't relax and sort of just move through and go where the game takes you when you're running, then this, highly recommend.